We're back for the Summer of Magic, everyone! And this time, it's all about
Never mind that. Come back to it later.
But the schedule says...
Yeah. Hey, let's switch it up a bit. You want to talk about Yuki Yuna?
Holy every day of my life! One question first. Who are you and where is my little sister?
Okay, seriously, what part of twins is so damn difficult to understand?
Oh, wow! It is you. Well, what brought this on? You're a Kill la Kill super fan. Have you seen the light?
Don't get ahead of yourself, squee machine. Anyway, okay, so I was reviewing Yuki Yuna for the episode, and I caught an angle we just completely ignored before. A total eureka moment, you know?
Last time we talked about the reconstruction of the magical girl genre, the commentary on the fandom, and the connection to the story's religious overtones. The ending, I mean, there's plenty left to cover, but something I never even considered? Come on, sis.
Yuki Yuna isn't just a hero, she's a soldier.
That's so obvious that I totally overlooked it. Yeah, that's it.
But it's really a cool topic, isn't it? I mean, sure, it's real easy to look at the whole thing and get the whole child soldier vibe, but there's a lot to unpack on that simple thing. I mean, it's an angle that ties into everything. The religious stuff, the antagonists, all of it. In a really roundabout way, Yuki Yuna's about war. I mean, just look at how the series treats the girls.
That's probably the most obvious part, right? I mean, it's definitely making a comparison between them and soldiers. Come to think of it, I wonder if that was the influence behind Togo's hardcore patriotism.
Well, duh. I mean, aside from that last part, no idea. But on the soldier point, for sure. You could probably even argue that making it a magical girl show at all was intentional to make the theme even more disturbing. A way to call out the grisly reality by putting children in the shoes of actual soldiers. Hell, that's also where the religious stuff comes in, with the most obvious parallel between the whole system and human sacrifices. Even worse, child sacrifices.
Oh, right! We did say before how being a magical girl is all about sacrifice. That's where the idea of giving up parts of their bodies came from.
Yeah, sure, but it actually also works a different way entirely. Think about it. When soldiers come back with life-altering injuries, there's this praise of their sacrifice, right? The girls in this case are intended to stand in for war veterans. I mean, I can't speak to the cultural difference in how Japan treats its vets, but look at how we treat ours.
Ooh, getting topical, are we?
I mean, you joke, but it's kind of unavoidable. Just look at it. Glorification of soldiers and the sacrifices they make when they're deployed, then turning a blind eye to them when they get back. Paying lip service to those sacrifices, but not doing a damn thing to help them when they come home, forever changed by their experience.
Well, that does track pretty well with how the Taisha treat the girls in a way. But they did pretty much worship the girls too.
Of course they did. It's a subservience to war without any regard for the people they're sending into it. It's bleak as hell.
Well, even if there is a cultural difference, I think the point's still relevant. The Taisha worship the girls as heroes, even if it's not just lip service. It could also just be part of the glorification of war and the monstrousness of sending people to fight them in the first place.
I guess that probably makes sense, this being Japan and all.
Actually, I was also hoping to talk about the Vertex. They're a really fascinating enemy, especially the more you learn about them. They go really well with the whole religion idea of the show, and...
Yeah, and they also fit right into the war premise, too.
Of course they do. You can't have a war without an enemy, right? Okay, seriously, how much thought did she put into this?
Exactly! That's what makes them so genius, though! Think about it. The Vertex are these abstract things. They're featureless creatures. They don't talk, they don't have faces, they're not even humanoid.
I guess that does track pretty well. I mean, one of the things they pretty much tell you is to dehumanize the enemy.
Right, that's it! By making the Vertex as inhuman as possible, the whole theme is served even more. I mean, well, I'll be honest, when I watched the series the first time, I wasn't really into them. But I get it now. I was looking in the wrong place. The Vertex are an antagonistic force for sure, but they're not actually the focus of the story at all. Because of how they're designed, the audience doesn't really have to feel or think anything about them. It's simulating the same kind of dehumanizing effect. And then there's the backstory of the world itself, which plays to both the religious and war angles pretty well, I think.
Riley?
I mean, when you think about it, there's a lot there about this idea of parties responsible for a conflict, sending totally unrelated people out to fight that conflict and give their bodies to it.
Hey, Riley.
I don't know how I didn't make this connection before, but—
Riley!
What? I'm on a roll here!
Oh, excuse me. I just thought it'd be nice to make a point for myself in a video about my favorite anime.
Ah, crud. Sorry. I might have gotten a little,
Carried away? You and your eureka moments. Well, at least you see why I'm so enthusiastic about it, right? That's the magic of it, and the sign of a great series in general. Every time I look back at the series, I can spot something new. For example, the pacing.
Huh? What about it?
You don't see how it might fit in with your whole theme? Yuki Yuna's pretty famously slow for a magical girl show. Especially an action magical girl show like Symphogear, Nanoha, or Precure. True, it's because it's a little more mature than all of those, really, but it's actually part of the point. Half of the show feels like a slice of life.
True. Well, I don't know if I'd go quite that far, but fighting isn't really the main point of the show. They actually spend a really low amount of the runtime in the action.
I think that was to serve the whole soldier comparison, so you could see exactly what it was the girls were fighting for. So you could see the stakes of the war, and most importantly, so you could really feel the impact of those sacrifices, especially things like Yuna's sense of taste and Itsuki's voice.
Oh, that almost makes too much sense. Good catch. Yeah, spending a lot more time with the girls outside of the action sort of feels like the time when soldiers return home to be with their families and stuff before being deployed again. Damn, that's kind of brutal now that I think about it. Basically, emphasizing the way career soldiers are just expected to keep going out there and giving their bodies to the cause, without any expectation that they'll come back in one piece. Yikes.
Like you said, it's pretty bleak, which probably enhances my love of the reconstruction even more. At the end of the day, after all, the girls aren't soldiers, and they finally kick the whole system, overcoming the morbid nature of it all. It's really beautiful in a way.
Definitely.
So,
what?
has this little episode done the trick? Are you officially converted?
Let's not get crazy. I just thought it was awesome how many different themes one can pick up from a series I honestly barely looked twice at before. My mistake on that one.
Boo. Not the answer I wanted. Not to worry, I'll win you over way before you manage to drag me to your side.
Ha! You're on, sis! Challenge accepted! Don't lose your way now. Y'all heard her. Next time, ask not the sparrow how the eagle soars.
Stay tuned!